Incremental greetings. So, I was shooting a video about the pros and cons of collections, and I opened that collection, one of the few collections I did for incremental writing. And it was about the survey, Supermemo survey. If you go to here, help, user survey, it's this. And I realized, well, I did this when I was 1.5 years in Supermemo. Now it's been almost 4 years. Hey, now I have curiosity that will have changed my view, my opinion. So, I will do this, and it's blind, in the sense that I haven't gone through the list yet. And I forgot most of that. So, are you happy with Supermemo? Which version? Yeah, I'm satisfied. There are certain things that do generate some degree of friction, yes. There are third-party tools that can ameliorate the experience. I'm using SM18, now 19, which is almost the same. Yeah, so what I would say is that this sum, I would say significant. That will be a change. If I'm updating this incrementally, that's the change I will do. And now I'm, let's say, 3.5 years in. Cool. What do you like the most about Supermemo? That implements incremental reading. Yep. No other app implements a true Supermemo, a true incremental reading app. With the minimum definition of incremental reading. That's it. That's the big pro of Supermemo. End of the story. One-liner. What do you like the most? Okay. The fact that it's closed source and everything. How many typos? Something I realized that I did more typos at the beginning. Yeah, the lack of automatic refactoring. That for language learning, it's good to have. But basically, that is not democratic. A lot of bugs are not fixed, are not going to be fixed. For instance, one of the conventions to create to use concepts as tags, I think I'm not going to use that anymore, or at all, because it's been this week. Why? Because if I export this, I export the collection as a Q&A, document, XML, whatever. The links are lost, are not exported. So, it's not feature proof. And what I also know is that it's not going to be added. Forget about it. It's been 2 years since I finished writing those questions. So now I know more. That forget about it. Everything that is not available won't be available in Supermemo. Most of the things. So I dislike many things. And keep in mind here, I didn't even set about the UI. Yeah, it could be improved, but for me it's not a big deal. Then, I have to choose bugs. Oh, there are so many to choose from. To be fixed, let's see if they fixed one of those. Random access memory violations when searching in the browser or registries. Wait, I'm using 90. Okay, let's try that. Depends on the order. Sometimes you need to do the search, then the filter. But if I do the other way around, and now I search, let me not do any typo. Yeah, I think that was fixed, or at least I don't get it that often. So I would say it is somewhat fixed. Thank you. Transferring branches or merging collections loses a lot of information. Concepts, templates, that is still true. And it's not going to be fixed. And import and export are limited to 2 components of each, 2 images and 2 sounds. Yeah, now this I don't care because I'm not importing anymore. So, strictly speaking, everything I imported from Anki, I deleted afterwards, eventually. So even if this is not fixed, and it's very likely it's not going to be fixed, now I don't care. So I would say that it's not just bugs, I would say is a non-implementation that links and other stuff cannot be exported. So therefore, I have a rule of thumb. Whatever cannot be exported, I'm not going to invest time. Because I know that what I do in Supermemo it's kind of temporary. Eventually, I will move on from Supermemo. Even if I need years, I know that it's not for life. I need to export that. Yeah, there are so many bugs that mess around with the daily usage, but it's been so long that I have adopted, let's say, the workaround. I internalize the workarounds that I don't do this combination because it's bugged, and I know that it's like this. Then those are just folders, okay, because everything is dismissed now. Did you use incremental reading? Yes, that was actually the point of using Supermemo to begin with. If so, are you comfortable or proficient? Yes, I would say so. I consider myself proficient. Okay, so in 1 year and a half, I was considering myself proficient. And I think last month, at the end of this month, I reacted to myself, my master self, reacting to my proficient self, reacting to my noob self. And I can guarantee 3 years ago and today, there's a difference, a significant difference. Although I have been using it for extensively. I run the channel. I still run it. Yes. I learned a lot from my mistakes, and even creating videos, which is still true. It's a lot less. Are some tiny details that some people comment, not necessarily in the video, sometimes in private via email or DM, but are just super tiny details that it's not worth repeating the video for that. What needs to be improved? Too long. Using interface. That will be user interface. Yeah, modern technology. Yeah, I do agree. Imports from social media. And the marketing. Still to today, it's a mess when users get a key and all of that. Do you make rich use of concepts to organize your knowledge? Oh, lol. Lol. I recently changed that. So now I would say no. No, I don't. Now my concepts are more like the regression categories, or where I want the group to be, internal knowledge tree, and that's about it. At the time of the writing, I had 180 concepts. Now I have a different collection. I had 34 concepts, but I'm using all of them. I no longer use that. I use concepts just for the sake of how to apply, because now I have one unique template for topics and for items. So I changed that. Keep in mind, I'm shooting the video. I'm not writing this down. Then, did you try neural review? Yeah, but since last time, nothing has changed in the last 2 years, because I haven't been creating those meaningful links and associations because are not future proof. And I don't think that the neural review will justify all of the time invested and jail, let's say, that creates the threat that it can only be done in Supermemo. I'm not going to be able to export any of that. So no major progress here, no major difference. I understand how it works, but I have to try it out. Yes, I haven't done any meaningful example usage of neural review yet. What is your R metric? Okay, my current R metric is usually between 4 and 18. I cannot check if SM18 works better, as it's the only one I have used. Oh my god, what is this grammar? That's still true, because SM19 still, Supermemo 19 still uses SM18. I think perhaps with some edge case fixed, with one bug or those fixed, but it's the same. So still today, yes, I haven't used anything better than SM18, so I cannot compare. And yes, I have error metrics from what would have been with previous Supermemos, but it just, calculations. It's not real usage. Yeah, how did you first learn about Supermemo? Yeah, this is not going to change because it's what happened in the past. Yes, I downloaded Anki from, oh my god, so many typos, from Linux repositories, and in the description said or mentioned something about Supermemo, the SM2 algorithm, and the 20 rules of formulation. That was my best guess. Yeah, now it's guaranteed. Then I checked the Supermemo website by curiosity, but oh yeah, here you go, the rules of formulation. That was in 2008. Yeah, I don't remember the exact date. And I thought, what is this pinky screenshot? That makes my eyes hurt. And I didn't try it until 11 years later, when I was desperate because of the lack of priorities and so on. How long have you been using Supermemo? Well, the same. Still with typos. Since August 2020, meaningfully. I started in June, the same year. I never stopped from since then. Oh my god, I can tell that my English was so, not just typos. This is not a typo. This is a grammatical mistake. Oh my god. Which versions have you used? Well, the same. I could just add 19 here, but doesn't make much difference because SM19 is just SM 18.1. Could be the same. Yeah, I tried the Supermemo versions older out of curiosity and for updating some old collections that were from the 1997 or 1998. So I needed SM15 to update the collection format and so on. And for some tutorees that for whatever reason they didn't want to upgrade and they were using legacy versions of Supermemo. Then, do you use other Supermemos? Which? Supermemo.com? No. I'm not going to use it ever. I'm not their target. Other space repetition software? Yes. Anki, for sure. Nemocine. I don't even know how it's pronounced. Yes, but for the sake of trying it out. No genuine usage and never will be. Duolingo? No. I tried for some minutes to try it out because of the memes. No real usage. No real usage of any of those. And I'm pretty likely this will continue to be like this. And I used Anki, yeah, that cannot be changed. Then, did you use ever Supermemo freeware? Yes, I did. And this is not going to change. Did you experience problems with dated versions? Absolutely! With dated and current versions, it's inherent in Supermemo. You have always issues. Up to today, I have issues importing from Chrome. For instance, if I have multiple profiles open in Chrome, only the second profile is seen, not the first one. So you have to move the pages to the other one, because even if I close the second profile, I only have the first profile is not seen for whatever reason. And many other little things that I still have problems. Or to lay out one of the new features to have layouts into monitors, dual screen. It's bug. I reported some bug that the height of the second monitor is larger. When you save the layout, it becomes a reset to the height of the first monitor. And stuff like this. So even what's been fixed, I still have some issues. It's not bug-free. Some new features introduced a new friction. How large of a role does Supermemo play in your life? A big deal. A main role I do use. Oh my god. SM almost every day. Most if off by ring. So many typos. It's done in Supermemo as well as most of the videos that are not for entertainment. Well, that is no longer true. I don't use it anymore because of friction. How did you come to use Supermemo? Again, 2 years have passed, but I cannot change that. Did you expect to use Supermemo for life? Hey, good question. Let's see what I did. I said, yes, I do expect to use Supermemo for life. What could happen is that Supermemo company dissolves at some point of my life. So, perhaps I would export my collections and keep using an analogous software for the remaining days of my life. Again, I will not phrase it like this. This sounds like more literal translation from my native language. It's not that natural English. And yeah, I agree. So I expect to use Supermemo principles for life. The Supermemo method, the incremental reading for life. Absolutely. Absolutely. I could get a tattoo on my forehead that I will do this. What I'm not going to expect to use is to use Supermemo software specifically. As soon as there is an alternative, a modern implementation of incremental reading satisfying the minimum definition, then I don't know. But I really hope that happens. Even if it's when Piotr retires or whatever, but eventually there's a new implementation or the next big thing with AI that, okay, we have spatial repetition, we've had Zettelkasten, and then incremental reading, then is the next big thing. So I won't be using Supermemo replacement, but the next big thing already. Let's see the future. How much time you spend with Supermemo? Less than before. And objectively, yes, less time than before, because now I work more hours and I'm busier than before. Yeah, and at some degree, I use Supermemo when I was unemployed. But subjectively, it hasn't changed because I use Supermemo as much as I want to. It's the same. That much, if I want to, could have been waiving, but it's always the same. I don't use Supermemo more than I want to. Minutes, no, okay, I think 9 hours is like a huge outlier. Usually, if I'm the high spectrum of usage, it will be 3-4 hours a day. And yes, sometimes I just do 10 minutes because it is what it is. That doesn't mean I wasted the day. I still get some value out of those 10 minutes. How many items do I have memorized? Okay, so kind of low. So I memorized 34,000 2 years ago, and I have deleted about 2,000 that I memorized at some point. Now in this collection, my collection, and in this backup, I have 6,300 items, which I deleted quite a lot, and some I did transfer to another collection. For instance, the slides, I have 1,800 items, and in the English, I have 48,000. Even though I have a lot more items that I deleted. That's a backup. And I think I had more than 60,000 items here. Now are in Anki, not here. And even though I still deleted items that are not anywhere. But since I don't have any metric that tells me how many items I deleted, I don't know. And also, I don't care about this. How many? I know. Less than I deleted in Anki, that's for sure. Items I memorized. Also, I don't care. I care about having fun and learning what I want and applying what I have learned to my life that has an impact in my life for the better and process of this is also pleasurable. That's the goal. How many items I need for this? It's not relevant at all. And in Anki, I have more than 100,000. In one of the, I have multiple collections because of technical limitations. And the other collections, I don't even know because I never checked that. I don't care. But let's say a lot. Then, what is your opinion about Supermemo method, spaced repetition? I'm sold with spaced repetition is not evidence, myself that the effect. Yeah, I have anecdotal evidence with myself across the 14 years that I use it. This method has enormous potential, which has to be learned. Which one has to learn how to use it? As spaced repetition badly applied can be extremely harmful. Extremely, which is true. I do agree with his statement 2 years after that. And actually, recently I had the intention to record a video on that. How I used spaced repetition that was extremely painful and harmful for my mental health. And years later, for the opposite, for fun. So it depends how you use it. It's like a double-edged sword. Depends how you use it, can be a different story. What's your opinion about Supermemo software? Okay. Supermemo is built for incrementalism as a lifestyle. Okay. Supermemo is the best suited for free learning paradigm. Yes. Meaning that you can still use it for curriculum-based, course-based learning, but it's not the best choice. There are other apps that are specialized for formal education, so you can cram and do whatever you want there. It's wonderful for managing the inevitable information overload that happens with incremental reading. Yes, because it's the only software who has a full-fledged priority queue. And the priorities are dynamic when you do the repetition after the outstanding date and a lot of stuff. It's not actually limited to learning. For instance, I can classify pictures or documents incrementally using the import files and folders features. Yes, but I don't do. I can, but I don't do it. As well as some asynchronous communication via email. I wrote some works about this in the third anniversary of spaced repetition. Oh wow, it's still up? Oh yeah. No, I'm not going to upgrade to a modern browser. I refuse to do so. Interesting. Hey, how can we improve the documentation to make your life easier? Wow. So kind of recently, I did a video about that. Finally, I have read all of the official documentation and a few thousand pages in Supermemopedia. And then I start my contributions, my edits, super small edits. Most of the edits are just attaching videos, or just a few typos here and there. So that's a good question to ask me this now. So yes, there's plenty of outdated documentation, or in the sense that there's a lot of documentation for features that are outdated. So it's not the documentation that is outdated, it's up to date, but the feature was implemented 15 years ago and has not been updated at all, and it's not meaningful to be used for most people. So you add a lot of material to go through that it's very unlikely the user will ever need. That's my point. The other one is that it's written for pros, for professional users, in the sense that it's using the jargon since day one, all of the time, which for me that was not a big deal because I enjoyed all of that. But it creates an entry barrier for people who don't care and just want to use Supermemo, the basics. Well, instead of this, my suggestion is that, as I say, whatever is older than Supermemo 15 or the latest freeware version, which now is the 16, that means that anyone in the world can download this version for free. So what's older than this? Archive it. Make it unavailable, or only available through on a special site that is for archived documents of Supermemo. So all of the search hits are for at least the versions that can be downloaded today or bought today. And the next thing could be, well, there's a limit, so keep the documentation like it is, but then do a course. That is the other way around. Less information, a lot more friendly, is not using all of the jargon or is added incrementally and takes the average user into account, not the pro user. Then, please write a few words about yourself that would like to share. Age, education, profession, hobbies, children, goals, country. Yes, because he already know all of that. Past because age, okay, I'm 4 years older than before. My education hasn't changed until very recently that I enrolled in a master's degree, an MBA, online MBA. What an irony. And nothing has changed before that because I was doing a PhD that I put on hold and eventually I gave up. I quit. My profession has changed. I was in academia, so I was a PhD student, researcher, and a lecturer. And I was doing some freelancing on the side for Anki. I don't do any of those anymore. I could say that if I consider myself a YouTuber, just because I do YouTube videos, I don't consider myself a YouTuber. But with this stretch, yes, that is still true. I still run this channel. I still do videos. And I do want to keep doing videos for indefinite amount of time. I don't see any limit. Not because I reach 40 or I'm a parent in the future or I don't know. Or I stop using Supermemo. I will be stop using recording videos. Hobbies? Has changed some hobbies? I will say no. But the hobbies are more or less the same. Doing videos here, being active in the community, some coding for fun. It's very little because then I messed up, I don't progress, it's no longer fun, and I stop. Barefoot, hiking, or like this. Yeah, with the hobbies, I do exactly more or less the same. Children, still no, not children yet. Goals, I could say my goals are the same from since 2 years ago. The education freedom, that the education is no longer coerced in any country in the world, that everyone has access to proper methods of learning, not just the freedom to learn, but the proper tools. So they don't have to use pen and paper or old-fashioned methods like they still do in most education systems. Country, I live in Spain, I haven't moved, I don't have plans to move. At least I traveled than before I could not afford traveling. Yeah, that's more or less what I would share with you. That is more kind of personal. My goals is to have fun, learn and having fun, and be happy in life. What thing? Oh my God! What things in life make you happy? Learning. Yes, in one word. And freedom, I would say. Pursue what I like, what I want. Makes me happy. What makes me sad? Compulsory school. Yeah, what I already said, more or less. An annex. What is in the annex? Oh, okay. Look at that. I had 130,000 elements. Now I have almost 100,000 less. 2 years later. The amount of topics is also massive. But look at the protection. Close to none. Wow, look at the speed. That was because of the English items. Yeah, repetitions per item now the average is 4. And here is 1.8, almost. Repetition count just 38,000. Now I have, I think, 170,000, yeah. I don't use the pending queue anymore. The device for getting index is about the same. The A factor is 5 point something, it's larger than that. I don't use the lexicon at all. Yeah, but at the end of the day, nothing meaningful here. And humans of Supermemo. The event was only 4 months that it was into Supermemo. So it's funny that I have been in all of the events, yearly events. And the last 2, I have been the host myself. And I didn't miss it for just 4 months. I was a noob. It was a game changer. Yes, even though now I don't use video, email, or writing because of the friction, I still consider it the same. Incremental reading has changed my life. And Piotr writings, that was my introduction to free learning and a different paradigm other than the Prussian system, has been a game changer. It changed my life. I don't know what I would have been, what I would have done, but I'm pretty sure I will kind of wasted my life. I didn't like the life I was living back then. It was suffering, tedious, and this every single day. Every single day. So I don't know. So it's not to the point that I will have committed suicide, but it would have been a torture, a tedious life to live. I could not even want to imagine that. But I want to share something with you. Slides. There's still one article that I didn't finish. This is from November 2022. Yeah, wow, by one day or something. 1 year later. So I use Supermemo for 2 years and a half. A tutoree asks, "How are you?" And he's surprised by my enthusiasm. Is when you start the call. Zoom, Google Meet, Discord call, whatever that may be. A video call for doing the session of the tutoring session. One of the questions, regardless of the country, the culture, let's say, is how are you? How are you doing? Hello, whatever that may be. And he was surprised. And this happened because I saw that it was a pattern. Because back in the day, so in the end of 2022, I had quite a lot of sessions, unlike now. And I saw that was a pattern repetitive. Why people are surprised? Or what? And not that they are surprised. Sometimes they actually explicitly tell me that. That, oh, wow, you're so enthusiastic. So, that, wait, why you are so enthusiastic if whatever we do is how to use Supermemo for this, how to use Supermemo for learning this, how to use Supermemo for that, is what's the fire from, right? Because for me it is. It has always been. So at least, even if for me it's just my baseline. For a regular user is what on earth, why are you so excited to use Supermemo, right? That person said more or less that that tutoring was kind of a therapy session. Even if it was just in a transformative way. Just my attitude towards the learning. This transfer, why are you so engaged with learning? It's for me, learning. It's just passing exams for a master's degree or whatever, right? So now I lost track why I told you that to begin with. There's no Supermemo versus Anki. Yes, I do agree with this still. And I plan to do some videos about this, that there's no comparison. Another thing that now I realized on those questions is that now I know people. I have met people in real life that use Supermemo. It has never been the other way around. That, hey, I know someone in real life. Hey, do you play this video game? Do you have seen this movie? Yeah, that may happen. But hey, do you happen to use Supermemo? Oh, yes, I do. No, this never happened in my life. The other way around. So, someone I met through Discord usually Discord, or the community in Supermemo. And then we met from different countries, always different countries. And then we meet in real life. So someone has to take a flight. And I met five. I met 5 Supermemo users, 2 being tutorees. Kind of weird, right? Weird. I could dedicate a video if you are interested in those, meeting people in real life about Supermemo. So that's more about it, how this has changed. So how I will send the survey today, if I will do it today instead of 2 years ago. That was fun. I did because I wanted to. I had no plan to do such a video. And the editing will be minimal, just the silences and the blah, 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 blah that I do here and there, that I need to repeat. And yeah, I don't know if that will be of some value for you. I do it just in case. And even for my future self, at some degree, will find this useful. So nothing more to add today, and see you incrementally. Now, wait. Now that I realize, when I say see you incrementally, I'm just visualizing someone, some of my subscribers or people I know from Supermemo. Like I'm talking to someone in reality. But I'm not including myself. So now I had the thought that wait. When I see you incrementally, I'm thinking of several people. Then in abstract, that I know people will watch this video, even if I don't see that, I don't experience this person watching that video. But I'm now including my future self in this routine. Weird. That has changed since 2 years ago. Indeed. Nothing more to add today. Why today? Because I might in the future. See you incrementally.